how did Galileo arrive at horizontal inertia? I think for this one, I'm going to show the answer again. Let me toggle that window. Okay, there it goes. And there's the answer. Galileo recognized that eliminating friction, an object wants to roll forever. So that's a way of thinking about like what does horizontal inertia mean? And he kind of arrived at that in this experimental way. So it says there that his experiments with inclined planes showed that without friction, an object always rolls back up to the same height it was released from, given the chance to do that. So in this picture here, like what we mean by that is we got two inclined planes. We got this ball rolling down here. It's going to roll here, and then it's going to roll up. In fact, I think the slides are going to kind of show us that here, because it started from rest, released it from rest, it rolls down, there it goes, and it goes up to the same height. And what Galileo found is it didn't really matter what level of incline the two inclines were at. Did they have to be the same level of incline? Could they be different? So I've changed the second one here, and we're going to release the ball at rest, same height as before. One of the really novel things that Galileo did is he took a lot of trouble in his time, and given the technology that was available, to do these kinds of experiments, eliminating friction and drag forces as much as possible. He recognized, that those forces were generally responsible for obscuring how nature really works in regards to motion. So he realized in his experiments that he had to get rid of it as much as possible. And so he had he used paper and a brass ball to make it roll as smoothly as possible for these types of experiments. And again, he found that it would roll to the same height. And then he reasoned, well, what if I could do the experiment perfectly? Obviously, maybe couldn't do this without any friction. In fact, in that sense, some of the modern day equipment that we have available for this class, I think Galileo would have loved to have that stuff. We have some air tracks that have like air coming out of these little tiny holes that let something move along a rail with almost no friction at all, much better than what Galileo had. So he would have loved to have done his experiments on what we have. But he reasoned that if the drag forces were not there, if this ball is trying to get to that same height, that's kind of one way of thinking about it, is it's trying to get back to that same height, it would just keep going forever in an attempt to do that. And in that sense, it would never stop. And so in that way, Galileo realized, okay, nature works differently than we thought. Aristotle said it is natural for things to come to a rest. Galileo realized, no, it's natural for an object that's already in motion horizontally to want to keep doing that. And unless there's something external that opposes it, like friction, air drag, those kinds of forces, it will just keep moving.